What's up, all you minties? Here's the Uncanny Omar, and we're going to pop one open on a Friday night.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I am joined by my wonderful co-hosts from our panel episodes, and you've seen Tina before, TikTok Tina, on Old Reader, New Reader. And Dan is our everything I know about comic books. Dan knows about Transformers. Here's our Transformers guru, where there's
I
comic
know
books
at
and
least
toys.
5% of what Omar knows about comic books. And it's mostly restricted to 90s books.
Okay, there's that. So yes, Dan also is also.
I can tell you all about Valiant comics.
Yeah, but you haven't even read the new Valiant stuff, man.
Anytime
Do you know
you
they're
say
coming out with a
Valiant,
new Shadow Man book? I'm
Yeah, I heard about that.
very excited about that.
I
Should
just
I be
have
able to see
Prince
chat?
Valiant.
So everybody, thank you for joining us on this Friday night. Yeah, grab a drink, and if you don't drink, grab water or I don't know, whatever. Hello, everyone from London, UK. Hope you guys are doing fine out there. I hope everybody's
Thank
remaining
you.
safe and healthy. Omar, Omar, Team PlayStation or Team Xbox Next Gen? Ooh, man, that Xbox looks sweet. Not gonna lie, that Xbox looks sweet.
Mm.
Cheers from Sweden. What's up, Sadir? 1990s Image Comics. See, Dan knows some about that, though.
Yeah, that's true. That was my main competition, trying to get Omar and Andrew's headspace of like, guys, no, these are stories. It's
No,
not just people with big boobs and tiny feet.
It's not big boobs or tiny feet. Why do I want to read comic books, Dan? Hello from Spain. We got a lot of people from Europe here. Thank you all so much for joining us.
Hey.
And hope everybody's staying safe and healthy out there.
Mhm.
And so this is going to be just a chill kind of episode, just a Q&A. You can ask us anything, and whatever we don't know the answer to, our co-hosts that are not here know the answer. So
There you go.
Probably.
what's up, Lionheart? I'm here for drinks and TNA. Oh, well, then you're here for some 90s Image Comics.
Yeah, that's true. Valiant's got nothing to offer you there except for a little bit of unity.
Good morning from Australia. We're in the future in Australia. That's amazing.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. All today from another Australia. Awesome. Hi from Texas, Jesse. I forgot you're from Texas, man. My cousin's down there right now.
Oh, yeah, he is.
All right. Anyone doing drinks and Q&A and Animal Crossing? You bet your ass Tina's playing Animal Crossing right now as we're supposed to be doing this.
I had to put it down.
Let's see.
Sorry.
Out there, problematically social gathering Omar. No, everyone in there. Hopefully. Nope. Omnibus or Epic Collections? Ooh. To read Epic Collections. To enjoy the art, it's go big or go home. Omni. I love that stuff.
What about to kill big bugs?
Is David Gabriel hiding in here ready for all the questions to Omar? No, David has been a busy guy, just like I'm sure everyone in Image and DC, Marvel, all those guys, I'm sure have been busy just trying to figure out how to keep this industry going. Anyone read Superman Secret Identity from Busick? #1 story that means the most to me. Ross, I'm going to tell you, I'm reading Batman. Oh, what is it? The Dark... it's Kurt Busiek's follow-up to that. So what he did with Secret Identity, he's doing with Batman. And it comes out next week from DC, like the hardcover collection. It's him and John Paul Leon. And thank you so much for the super chat. Omar is not David. I can guarantee you guys that. I do not have New Warriors Omnibus Volume 2. God, Omar looks beautiful because Amanda got all the love last time. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate that.
He's just buttering you up for feet pics.
Not that kind of chat there, Tina. Hey, Omar, what if Omnis are being delayed? Dude, they are completely being delayed because of that. I mean, so there's a lot of things going on, and we can get into specifics if you guys want, and I can answer as much as I know. But it's definitely affecting everything. Hey, have y'all gotten the IDW Gallery editions? If not, what run would you like to see in that dope format? No. Have you've met me, David? You know that I have an addictive personality. I buy that Uncle Scrooge, Life and Times of Uncle Scrooge artist edition. I'm done. I'll get them all. I'll get the Mignola one. I'll get the John Byrne ones. Woo, those things are pretty though. Who's already drunk here? We'll get there. We'll get there. It's only 7:00 here. We did Spider-Man Blue about a year ago, an old reader, new reader. I'm dreading the new Warriors.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys because Maddie just told me about that one, and I was like, oh.
So you all know, for those that have been watching the channel, the New Warriors is one of my favorite comic books of all time. That the original Fabian Nicieza, Derek Robertson, and before him Mark Bagley run are some of the best comic books I've ever read. Granted, they're always buried under the 90s comics because that's what happens to 90s comics most of the time. So anytime they do oh my God, we had the one in the early aughts that was bad. We had the Zeb Wells run, and all those guys ended up getting killed in Civil War. And then we had the one with Night Thrasher's brother leading the Team Bandit. And that was actually pretty good. That was the guy that wrote Underworld. I think he came and wrote some comic books. And now we got this new run. Tina, did you see the pictures and the names of the characters and stuff?
I did. We actually talked about this on Fangirls Assemble. Hey, Hayden, who joined us. But yeah, no, I think they're trying too hard.
They're trying too hard.
I do like Be Negative, and I do like Screen Time. Screen Time's actually a really good name for a character. Everything else, no.
It's so ridiculous. Be Negative. I saw the pictures, and granted, I love the writer. He has a good comedic tone to his writing. And when I saw the pictures, I'm like, okay, I'm sure a couple of these are a joke. And I even made the comment when I was looking at the first trade paperback that comes out in November. I was like, okay, well, all these kids in the very front, they're the ones that are going to die by issue 5. And then we'll concentrate on the New Warriors in the back. But I don't know.
The color scheme was very, I liken the image that was released.
The color scheme.
It's very Voltron-esque, like with the panels and stuff like that. So, I don't know.
Rob,
are you look like you're in jail.
That's what I was gonna say. You look like you're getting ready for your mugshot, dude.
Wait, is it like this? There we go.
Don't act like you don't know what you got to do.
Where are you?
How are y'all doing?
Are you at a library? Are you at a freaking social function that you're not supposed to be at?
Yes and no. Let me show you what's going on. So I'm at some of the best Thai food you can get, trying to feed the family, and they are shut down except for carry out. So
you're waiting on carry out.
That's what you're doing. Yep, all right. Yep, well, man, you can go and eat, dude. Jump back on. I'm sure we'll be on.
No. I wanted to at least say what's up. Love you guys. Like, subscribe, smash the notification button.
Rob, somebody asked earlier, Team. I don't know. What is the new Xbox called?
New Xbox or
Xbox Series X.
PlayStation.
Okay, so Team Xbox Series X or PS5.
Okay, so check it out. If I had to choose one today, I would probably say PS5, only because only because I'm super excited for The Last of Us Part 2, God of War 2, Spider-Man 2, like all these franchises on the PlayStation that I absolutely love, right? But that said, the hardware on the Xbox Series X is way more interesting to me. It's backwards compatible all the way up to the original Xbox. So Xbox 360, Xbox One games. They have the awesome GPU, awesome CPU, the SSD.
You know what? I mean, I guess it'll make Madden look good.
Oh my God. Xbox is more than just Madden. There's Gears and Halo and did I already say Gears?
Oh, yep, you're right. Madden, Halo, Call of Duty.
And see, though, that's the thing. When I buy games multi-platform, I actually do usually buy them on Xbox One X because they look better than on the PlayStation Pro. That's true. I usually buy multi-platform games. But as far as like exclusives are concerned, PlayStation always has the better exclusives that I like to play. So I'm gonna, if I only choose one, I would choose the Sony. And probably what's gonna happen is, since they're gonna be like $500 likely I will probably only be able to get one at a time. So I will probably get the PlayStation first and wait a while for the Xbox, which is traditionally what I've done every generation. I always get the Sony thing first, wait a year or two, then I get an Xbox. So that's probably what's going to happen. Good question.
So I see Apocalypse has joined us.
And Can I talk about another thing? Can I talk about another thing?
Are you supposed to be streaming from there? All right, I don't care. Go ahead, man. Whatever. This is a relaxed.
I'm not disturbing the other customers because it's just me.
Okay.
So the other thing I want to talk about, Dan, you asked the question, which VR headset should my kid use, right?
Yes, I did in fact ask that question.
Okay. Sorry, confidentiality.
Actually, it was more of, is there any reason not to get the Oculus Quest? that was, I think, how I phrased it. But yeah.
So there are a bunch of different options for VR headsets right now. There's the Oculus Go, the Oculus Quest, the Vive, the Valve Index. There's a ton of them. It really depends on what you want to do. If you are rich and loaded, there's something called the Valve Index that costs $1,000, and it gives you easily the best VR experience. Like, it even has finger tracking. It's amazing, but it costs $1,000. And it's wired.
My son is buying this with his own money. So
yeah, a little like even me, who's a hardcore gamer, I can't justify spending $1,000 on a headset and then like another $1,000 or $1,500 on a PC. I can't do it. I'm not there. Maybe if I didn't have like 85 children, possibly. So then another option is the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift S, which are both wired headsets, and they're about $500-ish, and they offer a very good VR experience. But again, they're $500 and they're tethered. The solution that I've been telling most people to do is the Oculus Quest, which is wireless. It's $400, so it's not exactly pennies, but it's wireless. Games that you can play are things like Beat Saber and Vader Immortal, which, by the way, just won an award for the Game Developer Awards. It totally won a bunch of Best VR Game. Darth Vader, Beat Saber, a bunch of Amos, a couple other games, right?
Wait, what's Beat Saber?
Is that one of the sex games?
Yes. Yeah.
No, I was being genuine. Like, I thought
that's the one where you pretend to be an airline control person.
What? You're a Jedi with two like lightsabers, and you're going to the beat of the music, like you're cutting down things.
Yeah,
so Rob, let me see if I understand this straight. My question of, is there any reason not to get an Oculus Quest? The answer that you're giving me is no.
Yeah, the answer is, Dan, I need you to remind me to give the short answer and then the long answer. The short answer is no. The long answer is the only reason why you might not get a Quest is because of graphical fidelity. Like, the other wired headsets, VR headsets, are going to look a little bit better, but not like significantly better, a little bit better. And the other thing that's really cool about the Quest is you can buy a cable, a USB-C, and you probably want to get like a 10-foot one. Plug that in, and all of a sudden you can play all the games on Steam and Oculus Rift and all that. So if you want to play Half-Life Alyx that comes out in 3 days, which, yes, you do want to play Half-Life Alyx that comes out in 3 days, that is the thing to do. You can plug that thing in, use the Quest for like Go stuff, and then like the real thing. So there you go.
Thank you, Rob.
What was the question? I can't even remember.
Is there any reason not to get an Oculus Quest? Was the question.
So we had something else. This is a really good question because I started this the other day. I started it on the channel just yesterday. You just had one comic book. I know Dan can do a lot, and I know Tina can. Rob's read a few, but not as much as these guys have. If you can choose one comic book to define you, or you can do 2 or 3, whatever. Like Uncanny X-Men 244 with Tina, right? Like for Spears of Jubilee.
Yeah.
What would they be?
Okay. You want me to do comics or games? Because I can do both.
No, not games. Damn it. We're going to have another hour.
All right.
Man, you picked mine. I couldn't think of the issue number, but I was like, first appearance of Jubilee. Done.
We got Andrew, our producer, joining us.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, you came in at the right time, Andrew.
Did I now?
Yeah, because we got a really good question here from Justin. Tina, Rob, Dan, and I'm adding Andrew here. What comic issue defines you? Issues that define you. Thank you for watching, by the way. That was one of my favorite ones.
For me, it is. Thank you for watching, sharing. For me, it would be. I'm upside down. For me, it would be Tioni Coates' Black Panther. I don't know the issue number because I really like the story and the twist and
Hold on a second.
intrigue and the black undertones of that book. So Black Panther. I know this sounds so typical and stereotypical, and I'm sorry, but it's a great book.
All right, Dan, you were holding something up.
I was.
You're on full screen. What you got?
Marvel's Transformers
that's
number
beautiful.
7.
Which issue is that?
That is Battle School. That's the issue where Ratchet is stuck alone trying to figure out how to rescue the Autobots and has to like face down Megatron. And when I was a kid, that issue just made a huge impression on me. Of like, this guy, he's scared out of his gourd, but he's doing his thing anyway because he has to, because he doesn't have a choice.
All right.
That's me every time I get up in court. Let's tie it into the now.
I guess they kicked Rob out of the restaurant because he lost his Wi-Fi signal.
Oh man,
there's so many good questions. So I'm gonna try to pick some out. If y'all see some, let me know. All right, Tina, why don't you go next? What issues would define you?
Jeez, I really do. I actually think when
you can do manga.
Well, I could do manga, but as far as comic books, I think when Jubilee actually left the X-Men, that's probably one of my favorite ones when Magic died. I mean, you don't know her as Magic at that point in time, but it's Ileana when she passes away because of the just overall feelings of that. That was very emotional for me. When the
Phalanx Covenant,
yeah,
and the start of Generation X.
Yeah, right before Gen X, because I mean, Gen X had some good things. Like I was kind of a fan of Gen X, but it didn't hit any real good notes. So, but right before Gen X, yeah.
All right, Andrew.
I've been thinking about this. I have a hard time thinking about what necessarily defines me. A comic that comes to mind though is actually the first comic I ever read. And I believe that was either X-Men Super Pro number 1.
Chamber is awesome.
No, it was X-Men. I think it was either 6 or 7, the Wolverine Sabretooth cover.
X-Men? That's 6.
6, yeah. That was the first one I ever read, and that
6 has Psylocke and Sabretooth. 7 is the half Wolverine, half Omega Red.
That's the Omega Red. That's what it is. Sorry, not Sabretooth.
Oh, man.
Omega Red.
Did you get Sabretooth and Omega Red mixed up?
I might have.
Nice.
Oh, dude, you're out of here. You're out of there, Andrew. Sorry, you don't. Sorry, but just kick him out. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna kick you out.
Andrew, that's a really good. Yeah, like when Wolverine is fighting Omega Red in like the forest. Yep. Man, I can't think of numbers like you can, Omar. But that's actually a really good like arc.
I just make them up.
That was in the 90s, early 90s.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That was Jim Lee. Right, yep. That was Jim Lee. By that time, Chris Claremont had left, so
just barely, yeah.
Yes, it's a good time to start reading One Piece. Sorry, I looked over in the chat and I was like, One Piece. One Piece would define me.
There you go.
Speaking of questions in the chat, we got a super chat a little bit ago from Pope Size about the Transformers Netflix series.
Oh, we did? I didn't see that. I can't highlight. Sorry about that, Pope Size.
Have you guys seen the promo for that?
Yes.
I mean, I'm excited to see something from Rooster Teeth with Transformers.
This is red and blue Rooster Teeth.
Yeah. Who are like legit now.
They've been heading up PAX for a while.
Oh, I know.
They did. So.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of stuff for a while. I'm excited about it. I'm optimistic. I mean, obviously our expectations, the bar is pretty low at this point for CG Transformers series of G1 characters based on all of the preceding series. So I'm optimistic. I think it'll be good. Netflix stuff is, Netflix special for Netflix content is generally decent. So I have good high hopes.
Okay.
Can we do a manga version of this? Because like Tina, I've read a lot more manga than I've read like comics and such. But
I was just picturing a manga version of this chat window.
Right?
If that's what you meant.
I didn't know what you were talking about. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Dan is like a pretty like shoujo boy, and like
I'm already a pretty shoujo boy, Tina.
with sparks and stuff.
Right.
Because I think the manga that defined me would be Naruto, but we'll talk about that later. Naruto.
I hear that it is coming back. Although I did, yeah, but I didn't look and see if it was true or not. But somebody was like, "Yeah, Naruto's coming back," and I was like, "Boruto?" And they're like, "No, Naruto's coming back." I don't know. That wasn't.
Yeah, that's that's what I've heard too. And I've tried to read Boruto, and I can't do it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's probably why it's coming back, is nobody can do.
What's up, Timmy, and everybody in the chat? Thank you for joining us. Let me pick some other questions. So yeah, keep asking those questions, and if you all see one, please let me know, and I'll highlight them. Okay, so let's talk about this really quick, Dan, because I think you and I can help Brian. Brian, where did you start? Did you start with phase 1? Because phase 1 is kind of a hard slog to get through sometimes.
Yes.
Up until you get to I would say, I don't know, Stormbringer was pretty good. The first part of the ongoing series was all right, but not until I think All Hail Megatron does that series really pick up.
I honestly is the wrong word. If I'm recommending it to somebody, I'd say just start with the phase 2 books.
I
because
do the same.
there is very little. If you're at all familiar with the Transformers concept, which is there are good robots and there are bad robots, and they've been fighting for millions of years, etc. And if you watch Transformers as a kid, or you read the comics, or are at all familiar with it, you're going to be familiar enough with it for it to all make sense as what's going on in phase 2, which is just all you have to know is that the war is over. Some people are happy about it, some people aren't. And it goes forward from there. And that's where the universe starts to take a coherent shape, instead of kind of, here's 13 issues where this author thinks we're going this way. Here's 20 issues where they think we're going this way. Here's a 4-issue miniseries that doesn't fit into continuity anywhere. Here's All Hail Megatron that doesn't tell you what happened with the story until 13 issues in. Those are good stories, but they're a slog. And if you're looking to just get in and have some fun and really get into what people, in my opinion, got really excited about with the IDW Transformers books, just start with phase 2, which is where More Than Meets the Eye and Robots in Disguise, the 2 ongoing series, started in 17 maybe.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And that's the series that kind of defined the IDW phase for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Although, if you're going to skip phase 1, I always tell people to at least read All Hail Megatron and Last Stand of the Wreckers. Because I think Last Stand of the Wreckers completely stands out above everything else.
Oh, yeah. Last Stand of the Wreckers is excellent.
Marvel
and does set the stage a lot for a lot of the phase 2 stuff.
Okay, so Marvel needs to get the rights back to classic Transformers and release Omnis. That would be awesome.
I would buy that Omni.
I would totally double dip, triple
dip. I would get Omar
quadruple dip this time.
I would get Omar to get that Omni for free and then give it to me. Is that a thing he does?
I think that's the way that it works.
Totally how that works.
I don't think so. Guys, Maddie, help me with that. Anyway, Omar, are you going to update the X-Men OHC? Is there many changes since you? Yeah, I did it 2 years ago. There's a lot. So I decided I'm going to wait until Uncanny Volume 4 comes out. And I hope it doesn't get affected by these delays and things going around with the coronavirus, but it's scheduled to come out in December. And I was supposed to have the solicitations for December already, but as I'm sure everybody that's working from home knows, that their VPN is down, right? Like Marvel, everybody. So I couldn't get any of that stuff. A Dan Slott Omni would be awesome. Like the Spider-Man stuff. I think that will come. All right, so let's talk about this really quick, because I know this has been a big question I get every day. So as far as I know, so far, the only Omnis that are delayed are the reprints of Daredevil, both volumes 1 and 2 by Brian Michael Bendis. They're out of stock. They'll be back in stock at Diamond. They're looking at April, I think it was April 23rd. And let's see, Uncanny X-Force will come back into stock in May. I think it was like May 23rd or something like that. Then Wolverine was pushed back until the first week of April. So I think there's going to be a lot of books that are pushed back. And I'm kind of holding off on doing advanced overview of like Omnis because I've got a couple of books. I just don't know when they're going to be released. So I need to talk to David about that. But I know he's been really busy. So I'll wait until things kind of die down. So, and I'm going to go ahead and say this. I don't speak for Marvel or DC or Image or anybody else. But if it's just delays, then I think we're good because I don't want to see cancellations, but I think we might get there if it gets to be too bad. So, and I will tell you all, this is really weird. Like when we looked at Diamond, like they are completely back ordered on She-Hulk. Like Sensational She-Hulk, I don't even know when that book's supposed to be out, and Sensational She-Hulk's already back ordered. The Wolverine DM, the direct market variant, is gone, like out of stock or out of print from Diamond. Right now, I don't know if that means that Marvel's going to send more. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to talk to David about this, but it's insane. So yes, so anybody that lives in Europe, I know that you all are affected more because over there it takes them a lot longer to get these books, and sometimes by the time he gets over there, you all don't even have a chance to pick up the DMs. So that's another conversation too. So I'm sorry. That's the info I have. Andrew, there is a way to chat with the viewers. You just go to our YouTube. And
Okay.
yeah, you look at it like that, and then you reply back that way. I'm sorry. Here, I'll send you the link.
I know.
But you should be subscribed to our own channel, though. I figured by now you would be. I don't know. Maybe you're not.
I didn't know if I could do that and be logged into StreamYard at the same time.
Yeah, man, this is futuristic, dude.
That's giving away the magic.
Yeah.
So
It's all smoke and mirrors.
wait, what's the question? Okay. Oh, great question. Who is your least and favorite X-Men character?
Wait,
and why
is the same, right?
My time has come.
Oh, Tina. All right, I'm going to answer for everybody. Wolverine is everybody's favorite character, and least favorite character
is Gambit.
Is Gold Balls. No, not Gold Balls.
How can you say Gambit? Why?
Maggot. Maggot is my
Cyclops
least favorite
character.
All right, so for me, in all seriousness, Wolverine, best character. Least favorite character is, Maggot. I think I had a hard time understanding what he was saying. I think the writers didn't know how to write him. He was a weird character, really cool power, just really strange. All right, that was me. Dan, your turn. Least
Cyclops, obviously for best.
Is your worst your least favorite?
Yeah, no, Gambit. Right? Seriously.
Gambit is your least
favorite? Why?
Gambit is like the Han Solo of the X-Men universe. You like Han, right?
Gambit's like the Han Solo cosplayer of the X-Men universe. He tries to be mysterious, and I don't mean that in a that's insulting to cosplayers. I apologize. No, in the sense that Gambit's character is like, oh, we've given away too much about Wolverine's origin. We need a new mysterious origined fella who's angry all the time.
But at one time he was going to be Cyclops' brother.
Yes.
So it's like choosing your... All right, whatever, man. All right, Tina.
Everybody knows Jubilee is my favorite.
You were digging through your car.
Absolutely. That's why I was like, my time's come. My least favorite is this guy right here. This white bread, just, oh my goodness. I hate him. I'm surprised I haven't ripped up this card.
Who was Tina talking about? I stepped away.
Tina needs to read some good Cyclops comics. That's what she needs to do.
Right here. This guy.
Okay. And Andrew, best and least.
My best, I'm gonna have to go with Wolverine. I always liked Wolverine. Least, gosh, I'm having a hard time with that.
Andrew can identify with Wolverine's facial hair growth.
Let me tell you something, Andrew.
I have been actually called Wolverine before. Yeah.
Let me tell you. Don't say a female character because then people will say you're feminist. Don't say a black character because then everybody will call you racist. Don't say like a blue character because then you're against blue people of different
Appalachian
colors,
origin.
right? So I mean, just
So really,
be careful. Tread like it's like walking on eggshells these days, Andrew. So be careful.
Oh, Omar.
Yeah, I don't usually take this kind of advice from Omar, so I don't.
Nobody takes my advice.
Oh my
I don't know.
goodness.
I'll have to think about least favorite. I'll take nominations.
All right.
What's some really terrible characters?
She hates Cyclops. Yeah, Tina hasn't read a lot of good Cyclops stories, guys. That's the problem.
No,
she grew up with the bad Cyclops years, if you will. She never got to see him really shine.
I've never liked Jean Grey or Cyclops. I just don't like that dynamic. Maybe it's too soap opera for me.
Cypher. Dude, Cypher's badass now though in Krakoa, right? He's cool.
Speaking of which, though, I do kind of love the fact that like the Hickman X-Men stuff is being, and I hadn't read X-Men in, I don't know, 3 or 4 years before House of X and all that, and they're being very cagey with the whole Cyclops, Jean Grey, Emma Frost thing of
and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Don't forget Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly.
Wolverine's thrown in there.
It's like they're all just kind of hanging out. They live together on the moon, you know. They're buddies.
Somebody asked me in the live chat how I feel about that because Wolverine's my favorite character, and I'm like, dude, Wolverine's been around for over 100 years. He gets bored with just normal sex. Whatever. I'm sure he's fine. All right, so let's see here. There's a couple other questions that we had. Did you like the Phoenix? Tina? Did you like Phoenix or no redheads? Okay. Got it.
Just go with like a C-list character for who you hate, like Motormouth or something like that. Just
Motormouth. Motormouth from Marvel UK. You just offended 5 of our fans from the UK. Wolverine is Canadian. That's right, he is.
Yeah, he is Canadian.
I think he has dual citizenship now.
I'm making
that up. All right, Freddie. Let me see what you got. My favorite Cyclops moment is when Kitty Pryde threatens him that if he ever gets close to time displaced Jean again, and that doesn't paint well for him as a character. Oh, that was during the creepy Bendis years. That you can't use that, man.
He absolutely can.
All right, so let's get serious, guys. X-Men baseball's over. It's all about drinking and partying at Krakoa now. Remember how? Right. And I use that. I'm being serious. Remember how like the good, wholesome. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Wholesome. Like, you know, like anytime something bad happened, an issue of the X-Men would start off with them playing baseball, right? Now it's like it's a few months apart, but we get them. They are partying hard.
Orgy in the forest. Yeah.
I don't know if it's an orgy, but there's a lot of drinking and multiple man is everywhere flirting with different chicks. You know where this is going, right?
Cannonball somewhere where he shouldn't be.
Well, Cannonball's married with a kid now. He's a good boy. He's fine. Cannonball's always been a good boy.
Left the universe and Jubilee became a vampire. Cannonball's married with kid. Like what's going on? Everybody's having orgies?
Well, I don't know if that's exactly what's going on, but that's what a lot of people think, and you know, I don't know.
So everybody, I mean, granted, everybody was like polyamorous before polyamorous was cool with the Marvel universe.
What are you drinking? And what are you talking about? What?
I'm drinking cider, boys.
Yeah,
I'm a lightweight.
Oh, you are. So you're just like blurting out things like polyamics.
No. What?
Okay.
Yes, her favorite X-Men, Paul Abdul.
Anybody check out Superman Red Son anime? No, is that out? I didn't know that was out yet.
I watched the trailer today.
Toad is the worst. Oh, dude, is Stargirl out? I've been wanting to check that out.
The new WB series?
Well, it's a DC app, right? I don't know if let's see. Omar, do you think there will be Omni delays other than the ones we have now? Yeah, I think it's going to be a domino effect, right? There's no way that if everything gets let's use this as an example. You know, all these books were supposed to come out in March. and now they're being pushed back into April, right? Where we already had 3 or 4 Omnis being scheduled, including some reprints. I don't think it's a good idea for Marvel or DC to reprint or to release $800 plus books at a time in a month. So I think it's gonna
frankly,
cost
they're
less.
gonna have supply issues too, like actual physical supply issues. Their plants are gonna be shutting down. Their printers are gonna be shutting down. The shipping, folks are gonna be
already starting to be affected.
Well, shipping's affected if nothing else, just because they're prioritizing some shipments over others now.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, yeah, exactly as you said. I mean, we're seeing it across just about every industry right now. It's going to, there is no way it won't have cascading effects that last for months, if not a year or two.
Yeah, and it's difficult. So I mean, let's talk about logistics though. Like, it's difficult for. So you have the publishers, right? They're dealing with that, and then you have online stores and comic book stores. How in the world do you gauge like what you order, right? Because then you have us down here, the consumer. People are losing their jobs. We have no idea, about anything. And I'm not gonna get into politics, but it's just the way it is. You got to prioritize. It's like, what do you get? Like, I want this omnibus, right? Oh shit, this guy's selling toilet paper on Craigslist for $35 a bundle. So I got to get that for my family. But I mean, seriously, that's where it is, right? So then here in the middle is caught the comic book stores and the online stores, and they're like, they have to order, as I don't know if all of you know, but they have to order months ahead of time for these books. Months, and there's a cutoff date, right? When the cutoff date is gone, then you miss out on variants, you miss out on direct market volumes. So that's the hard part. It's like, what do you do here? And then what are the publishers doing? I know Image released an announcement a couple of days ago about what they're going to start doing, but we don't know. It's affecting everything. It's a big, I guess, it's a big ball that just rolls on top of that.
Just like, all the stuff you're hearing about, supporting local restaurants and all that, now's the time. If you don't have a folder with your comic store and you are at all inclined to get paper stuff, now's the time to do it, to give them at least a little bit of indication that people are going to be buying stuff.
Right.
Right. Imagine, let's just use this as imagine all the pre-orders, right, of a book that a store has had for like Wolverine we'll use Wolverine Omnibus. Wolverine Omnibus kits keep pushing back and back, right? By the time it gets released, maybe in April, let's say it gets released the last week of April, we have no idea where we're going to be. A lot of people don't know where they're going to be financially, so there's going to be a lot of cancellations. Yeah. And the people in the middle are stuck with all these books and all this. Yeah. So, Andrew, you go to hell. Did you say Longshot was your least favorite? That guy's awesome, man.
Somebody brought him up in the chat,
Dan,
and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's totally somebody I was thinking of." What do you got there, Dan?
Nothing. It's fine.
Bring that back. My bifocals.
What are you talking about?
I couldn't see
the note you held up for somebody.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's just too hard to go over to YouTube to chat.
Guys use technology better than I do.
I have this window open. It fills my whole screen. Mm-hmm. I'm satisfied with this. I can write notes on my pad of paper here. It's fine. It's cool.
All right. I don't know about these guys. But this is a good question. Favorite Batman story and favorite Batman artist.
Ooh. The introduction of the KG Beast. No, I'm just kidding.
The Jim Starlin? You love Jim Starlin, don't you?
No, well,
that was Starlin, wasn't it?
Anything from like 87, 88, even if it's horrific, is just holds a place in my heart, because those are my, getting into comic books. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I will hush. Andrew, hold those up again.
Some Jim Lee.
Yeah.
Those are great. That's Jeff Loeb?
Yes. I believe you got these for me, Omar.
And Jim Lee, I did. And I believe those are signed, if I'm not mistaken.
They are. They are indeed.
Yeah. I signed them myself. Uncanny
Omar. I kind of figured you did.
I would not have signed Jim Lee's name. Tina, what about you? What's your favorite Dark Knight story?
See, I didn't read Batman. That's the thing. So my favorite art or medium of Batman is going to be Batman the Animated Series, particularly the one where it's the Tiger Man. Like that was a pivotal episode. Like
Tiger, the
Burning
poem?
Bright. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. That's an amazing animated episode. I mean, Batman the Animated Series was amazing in of itself.
That's a great answer.
It is a great answer, and that's actually where I was going to. So,
no, dude, it's too late. You said KG Beast. The KG Beast. He had no hands. He had like.
I mean, we wouldn't have had Harley Quinn without Batman the Animated. So, like, come on, guys.
Damn, Tina answering the right answer. Damn. You know, Paul Dini had a big run. He's getting an omnibus if it doesn't get canceled. All his stuff. Woo, this is hard. I don't know. I would Childhood Omar says Batman Year 2, and he gets a lot of shit for that, but I don't care. I think now, I'm gonna say Prodigal, Batman Prodigal, because there's one scene in there where, like, it's between Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne, and he was like, "Why didn't you ask me to be Batman? Right? Why did you ask this guy named Azrael to be Batman?" And he was like, "I just wanted you to grow up to be your own man and stuff." And that's the first time you kind of acknowledge the fact that he is like Dick Grayson's father, because he says that's the way it is between fathers and sons. And man, what a great moment! So that's that takes place right after Nightfall. Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Batman and Elmer Fudd, for real though, that was good. That was Tom King. A lot of people skip those Hanna-Barbera crossover stuff, but those were pretty solid. Tina, you've read Terry Moore, right? I think Dan has too. Strangers in Paradise for me.
Oh yeah.
Strangers all the way. Doesn't get better than that. It's one of my favorite comics ever.
What series did he do?
He did Strangers in Paradise. He did Motor Girl, Rachel Rising, and Echo. Those are big ones. And what's up, Hugo Rios?
The rest of us just keep trying to click on comments and it doesn't work. Only
No, I'm reading. I'm like, oh.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
You're not sorry.
No, I am sorry. I am sorry.
The uncanny never sorry Omar.
I am. Ask my wife how often I apologize. A lot. Did everybody pick up Animal Crossing today, Tina?
I did. I mean, like, it's right there.
I was talking to Rob about this when we had our live episode with our video games. I was like, "Look, dude, I already own like real life mortgage. I don't want to own fake mortgage to this raccoon. Screw that.
I even did a TikTok about that.
I don't want to do that." And that because I played the GameCube one, the one that was originally here in America. I know the first one was on the N64, but
it gets better.
What they should have done is no, it does not. It's the same damn thing over and over.
You can put fruit in bundles instead of selling them individually now.
You're not selling me here, Tina. What they should have done was add a zombie mode to that. Like when you don't check on your town for like a year, you fire it up and then everybody's turned into like a zombie because you haven't checked on them.
So Penny Arcade, I believe, did a very good like comic of that where like you return and it's just like it makes you sad because it was just like, oh, you finally returned, like, oh, we forgot about you. You've been gone so long.
Hold on. There was a good question here. Not that one, but that's also good. Soon. I love that run. That's my favorite Avengers run. Red Hulk versus Megatron. Who wins and how? All right, let's get nerdy, Dan. Let's get nerdy. Which version of Megatron are we talking here? Comics Megatron?
I don't know Red Hulk, so you're going to have to tell me what's special about Red Hulk as opposed to Green Hulk or Gray Hulk. Other than just he's Thunderbolt Ross,
It's
right?
Thunderbolt Ross, and he loses his mustache when he gets all red and angry.
So, but he's just General
strong.
Hulk powers.
Well, he's a little stronger because he was alive when Hulk wasn't alive, so I guess he's a little stronger.
Okay. So, but he's still like human sized, right?
Yeah, but
and Megatron's still Megatron sized,
unless he turns into a gun.
I'm gonna go Megatron on that one.
Okay,
I'm gonna go antimatter cannon versus gamma ray powered Hulk.
Okay,
I'm gonna say Hulk.
I mean, you hit him with you know. I don't know how electromagnetics
Actually,
work.
Dad, let me spill some physics on you
could
here.
Tell me, if you black hole somebody who is powered by gamma rays, and if I'm remembering right, black holes and gamma rays have one thing or another to do with each other, right? Yes. Sure. So
both,
do they
both
cancels each other out, right?
Yes,
so, like,
exactly.
Megatron could just flick him away.
No.
Obviously, that's how that works.
This is why they not hang out with these guys.
That's logic.
All right. That was an excellent
no
question.
Contradictions.
I'm gonna go with Megatron. Movie Megatron. Comic Red Hulk. Movie Megatron.
Ooh.
Not. Dude, I'm talking animated movie. I ain't talking that bullshit. You know better. When I say movie, you know what I mean.
The one I fell asleep to.
Everyone hates you, Omar. I'm scared about Marvel Comics this year. I don't think it's time to get scared. You know, I think let's just see how it all plays out. I think comics in general.
Marvel also has all of that movie money that's not being plugged directly back into the comics, but that is a reason for the comics to sustain themselves. Whereas other companies don't have that direct connection between their studio arm and their creative arm.
How much of that is owned by Disney? So Marvel retains their comics, but
Marvel is owned by Disney.
Well, it's all different departments, though.
Right.
Nobody's really talking to each other.
Right. So, like, I don't know how much money they would give that to the comic arm of it.
No, but I'm saying if the comic arm cannot sustain itself, they will pull resources to sustain it for a while, certainly.
Absolutely. Where you have independent publishers independent, but some of the other bigger publishers like Image and Dark Horse, right? Where they don't really have much.
Well,
you can even talk about smaller independent
rumors
ones.
we're hearing about DC too, of like the publishing arm of DC is in danger and things like that. I don't think we're anywhere near that with Marvel. So,
well, DC can't put out a good movie, really, save their life.
Well, dude, have you seen Shazam? That was good. Shazam was good.
I mean, out of how many offerings?
Aquaman was fun.
It was fine.
No, I said fun, not fine.
Both. It was okay.
I'm going to answer Larry's question. He asked about.
Where is it? Where is it? Tell me where it is, Tina.
It's right below Red Hulk versus Megatron.
Okay.
That's like 5 years ago.
I know, right? But I saw Larry. But if you want more modern anime recommendations, if you're not afraid to hit with the popular stuff, My Hero Academia is really good, especially if you like superheroes. So it's on key, on point, really good storyline. There is, if you don't mind furry stuff, I didn't think I'd get so into it, but Baystar is actually really good. It's on Netflix. It's 12 episodes long. I just binged it. It's really, really good. And I went and read the manga online. That's still ongoing. That one's getting pretty popular right now. And then Demon Slayer is amazing. So there's 2 popular titles there. And then Baystars is becoming popular if you don't mind an adult Zootopia. Demon Slayer, it's one of the bigger shonen titles right now, and it's just exactly like it says, demon slaying.
So there you go, Larry. Hope that answers your question.
This is kind of like extras in a very cheap film where you just put a hat on them and they walk by again, and then you put a mustache on them and they walk by again. It's two dogs. It's the same two dogs. They just keep walking back and forth.
That's not even his house. Spider-Man versus Leonardo. I had to highlight this one because this could get fun. Who wins? Are we talking about Leonardo DiCaprio, Leonardo da Vinci?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, obviously.
Obviously.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of Leonardo DiCaprio versus Spider-Man.
Yeah. Like which Leo too? The guy from Inception or Titanic, right? That's why I picked this one because this could get
that
fun.
would have been the perfect meme. Is like, you know, the meme with Spider-Man like grabbing the money from like Stark and stuff. Back before, you know, DiCaprio got his Emmy or whatever, been like him, like trying to get the Emmys from the floor, just him and Spider-Man, like.
You call it a meme. We call that a comic book. That actually happened. Millennials in your memes. Anyway, Dan, I don't care. What Leo do you want to pick?
Leonardo DiCaprio from Gangs of New York versus Spider-Man from New York.
Who would win?
Who would win? I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio, because Spider-Man doesn't kill people.
Okay.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Well, I mean,
you know, he's
somebody's
tricksy.
neck.
What about you, Tina? Who would your choice of Leo?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, okay. No matter what Leo was he fighting?
Okay, so it'd still be Spider-Man because even if Leonardo wasn't my favorite turtle, it was Donatello. So if it was Donatello versus Spider-Man, then maybe. But no, it's Spider-Man, hands down. He's always been like my favorite like non-X-Men character.
Okay, Andrew.
Leonardo was actually my favorite turtle, so I'm gonna have to go with him.
No way, dude! You like machines.
Hey, Andrew, can I break your mind for a minute? Leonardo is now Raphael, and Raphael is now Leonardo.
Voices.
Oh God!
No. Like characterization. Like Leonardo is now like the snarky asshole of the group.
What?
And Raphael's the leader.
Whose voice actors switch? Because the voice actors switch.
I don't even know.
I
could be getting that completely wrong. That's at least I think in the most recent series.
So the guy that did the original voice for Raphael,
did
the voice of the Nicktoons.
Fernando Lamas.
No, it was not. He
does
the
music, obviously.
No, he's been dead for a long time.
Did he do Donatello?
Okay, it was Bill Murray.
Yes, he does Donnie's voice.
Yeah.
Yes. Shut up, Dan. There was a really good question. Damn it, where was it? Okay, here's one. What's your favorite story from 2010? So I'm gonna answer
Barack
first.
Obama.
What?
I mean, that's a generalized like story overall of what?
All right, guys, don't get smart.
Because
I'm gonna go with
Omar and his corn husks. Man.
House of that was in the 70s, not the damn 2010s. And I'm gonna go with House of X and Powers of 10. That's my favorite comic book story in this decade. It was amazing.
I don't have as much comic exposure in the 2010s. It's really just Transformers and some of this X-Men and some of the like Zdarsky Daredevil stuff, and it's all very recent. Though I will say, shoot, what was it? Come back to me, because there's one that there was. I really enjoyed some of Kieran Gillen's. I'm probably saying that wrong. Image stuff.
Wicked and Divine.
Wicked and Divine, I really liked. I'm really enjoying Die too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I always forget about Wicked and Divine, but Wicked and Divine is really amazing. I really like Lucy.
All right. Andrew does not want to answer the question. That's why he stepped away. Good call, Andrew. Okay. Let's go through some more here. I see Andrew already answered that. Omar, will you make a video about Starman as soon as DC releases a proper Starman Omnibus so everybody can read it? Yeah, that kind of Starman.
Yeah.
Omar, will you ever do a reading order of Secret Wars or Civil War? I was going to do a reading order of every Marvel event, but it's up to our patrons to decide. It was going to be a vote of every Marvel event or every DC event, and I let them fight it out. I still get to make a video, and somebody else gets. That's what was becoming difficult for this reading orders. It's like I love doing these so much, but I'm like, which one should I do next? I'll just let somebody else pick. So yeah, if you haven't joined our Patreon, please think about doing so. Only if you can do so. And much love to our patrons.
Did I miss the story one? Sorry, I had to walk away for a second.
We just thought it was a comic book question, and you were like, "I'm out of here. I don't."
I'm totally out of
So
here.
this is your answer right here, Rob Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson.
Nice.
Anybody?
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. That's a nice reference to Panic Room.
There you go. There's a question that I want to answer. Where did it go? Has the novelty worn off from Disney Plus for us here in America?
Yeah, I answered
and
that
the
one
answer is absolutely yes.
It's okay, but the novelty, yeah, it's
here. We're gonna find out here in the next couple of weeks.
Most of the Disney movies, already, and beyond that, you can only watch like Bedknobs and Broomsticks so many times.
What?
I'm sorry,
Andrew. I know you've got that crush on Angela Lansbury.
The offerings are
okay. Mid-40s Angela Lansbury to Teapot years, like a fine wine, like a fine wine. And Chris, I've been trying every month. The Duck events on Patreon for I think the last almost 6-7 months. Andrew knows, he keeps an eye on that stuff.
Yeah, we actually had several people that were kind of surprised when it didn't show up in the latest poll, because the latest poll was for old reader, new reader, not for the reading order. Everybody's like, "What? No Duck?" Like, no, we haven't given up on that. Don't worry.
Oh, I had a good point though with regard to Disney Plus. Now's the time to watch Rapunzel.
How come?
Rapunzel's getting actually really good.
As a guide for how to survive being at home by yourself and not being able to go out.
It's cute. I really like it. It's really cute.
I still have yet to do the Disney Plus. So the novelty is not worn off for me.
There you go. Omar, has David said anything about Spider getting nominated? No, he has not. No. Not yet. We haven't talked though. Thoughts on the Mandalorian Rosario Dawson situation?
I love that like, I try to be cognizant of spoilers and stuff, but there was no avoiding that today.
Oh, you're on social media. You're everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to avoid the bad stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm excited to see that. I'm glad they're tying it all together, if it's true. But I won't say more than that.
I'm excited to see her in the live action. Tina, I do like Akagame ga Kill.
That was me. That's me, Omar. Yeah. So
I'm sorry. Okay. To reply back to somebody, you just hit the @ symbol. By the way, old guy talking here. What's the @ symbol?
Right, I know that. I know. But I was too lazy to go back and scroll and look at the name. It was Sean Smith. Yes, I do like Akama ga Kill. I haven't thought about that anime since 2016 or something like that. When did it come out? Man, it's been a while. I know it was serialized up until 2016. I don't remember when the anime came out.
I will pledge my vote on Patreon for Duck Reading Order, even though I don't have any of them. You don't have to, man. I told Andrew, I was like, man, if I ever have time to do more than one a month, I would love to do it just to sneak it in there. But it's a matter of just having the time to do it.
It's your white whale at this point.
Chris Crescent. I still need to watch The Mandal. Yes, you do. Yeah, it's a solid series.
I'm right there with you.
The new DuckTales is hella rad.
It is hella rad.
I agree.
Yeah, we all agree. I like the changes they made.
I like the appearance of Darkwing Duck as an actor.
Giving each nephew an individualized personality?
Not only that, but an individual voice. It's not just one voice actor cashing the check. Omar, what do you think about the Vagabond manga? I love it. I just wish it would finish. That's the guy that did what was the other manga he did? Tina. What's that? It's basketball.
Slam Dunk.
Slam Dunk, thank you. Yeah, he did Slam Dunk. That's how Latino Slam Dunk, apparently.
Tiny little balls.
The little goal on the back.
I was gonna get a. I was trying to think
It's
of
like a highlight slam.
what was the little game that the Mexicans would play that was kind of like basketball, like in the Mayans, the big.
Oh, with
it was
the
like
head? What?
I wasn't gonna get
The
that
Mayans.
racist. I was talking about the
You
big
said the
stone
Mayans.
concrete ball, Tina, and it was a concrete thing. Andrew knows. He paid attention in
I
history
was
class.
talking it was a human head, but my teachers were probably racist.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Can't
of
think the
course.
name.
Dan and I both can agree on this one. The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck.
Yes.
It gets no better than that, guys.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's his magnum opus, and even though it's borrowing stories from Karl Barks, it's the perfect comic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Mayans play. See, we
That's
just
it. Yep.
we just reminded Sean Smith that the Mayans played basketball,
That's culture right there.
and I feel like Freddie looks like a smart guy. Is it balon mano? Balon mano, I believe that's what it's called. Can somebody use the internet to Google that, please?
I can't.
I just did. That's it.
Is it?
Yeah.
You
Well,
lied, you damn liar.
it sounds smart.
Just finished Mr. Robot. I haven't gotten past season 1. I need to go back and watch it. Not that it was a bad show, I just haven't seen it. So everybody else is drinking tonight, right? You guys are all drinking something. Tina's drinking her little bubble tea.
It's Cider Boys.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cider Boys. That's like the boy band of beer.
Bubble Tea Boys.
What?
Bubble Tea Boys? I'm sorry, Tina. You know we love you. Omar, is it me or are Duck Comics confusing to collect? It's not you. They are confusing to collect. That's why I wanted to do a reading order to kind of simplify it. Still no Mexican NBI star yet.
All right. Glad you contributed on that.
And that concludes the sports segment for Near Mint Condition.
That was it. That's all I know. Happy on Netflix is good. That's based on. It's oh gosh, who was it that wrote Happy? Derek Robertson drew it. It's a very it's Grant Morrison. Grant Morrison, but it's a very Garth Ennis story.
It's a very Deadpool. Without
the donkey, right. Without the imaginary donkey. I love that stuff. Okay, Brian has asked like 50 times. Brian, done. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna mentally write that down. Andrew's our producer. Andrew, write that down.
Count Duckula. Somebody absolutely does need to do a Count Duckula comic.
You just like messed that whole thing up.
I'm sorry. I get excited when I see certain.
Where did you see Count Duckula?
Hayden, my man.
Of course, Hayden said Count Duckula.
I'd actually be really interested to see your take on Invincible, Omar, because I'm curious. Because my opinion generally is that it was wonderful and then went too long.
I've read the whole thing, so I tend to agree. I
assumed you read the whole thing. That's table stakes, man.
The problem with I don't know. I don't think Robert Kirkman can stick to a landing. Like I don't think like he writes these things and then when he's like, okay, it's over. I don't think he knows how to end it properly or to do it the character's justice. I don't know, but yeah, I don't mind doing that.
Yeah, get into that more. I'd be curious to hear you talk that through.
Okay, done. I'll mentally write that down, Andrew. Not Disney Duck related, but someone needs to do a Count Duckula comic. Only if it's a crossover with Danger Mouse, then, right?
Danger Mouse was okay.
That's where he originated. He was a villain in Danger Mouse.
I know he was a villain, but it was much better. The spinoff was better.
Oh, it's about to get serious here. Favorite male and female comic book characters. Male. Female.
Omar's pecs.
Someone's like
Wolverine. Male.
Male and female.
Female, I would say man. I do love Rogue. So I guess Rogue or Storm, one of those two ladies.
I've got a tie for guys, like Beast and Nightcrawler.
So you got to think for blue dudes, huh?
I know, right?
You got to think for the blue guys, okay?
Yeah. Not for Manhattan.
How do you feel about Smurfs?
No. What?
What do you mean, no? Like you got offended all of a sudden because I mentioned Smurfs.
No. Just
Okay,
for the Marvel.
What about female? Are you Oh, Jubilee. I mean, sorry. Sorry. Okay, sorry. What about you, Andrew?
Once again, you stole mine. I was
That's what
going
I
with
do.
Rogue. Rogue and Wolverine.
Okay.
I'm kind of disturbed by that, though. I might have to change.
You better.
Why?
I would.
I don't want to be the same as Omar.
Nobody does. Dan.
Wolverine's good.
Are you
comic book
drinking a
characters
mimosa?
Yes.
Nice. Well, I'm so proud
Oh,
of you.
it's a screwdriver. Sorry, we don't have the bubbly.
Look at you, all classy, man. I'm drinking beer out of a can. Good for you, Tina.
Let's see. I can go with Daredevil as male, just because I keep coming back to Daredevil.
You so much so that in real life, you became blind.
Yeah,
that's
exactly right.
Dan is our lawyer. He is our team lawyer.
So you're just like, yeah, Daredevil.
And then, all right. Well, then I don't have a good answer for female, so let's go with the other lawyer. Let's go with She-Hulk.
Dan, way to play it safe.
Oh man.
Oh,
okay.
Let's get real.
Frankly, I would say Emma Frost would probably stick out.
Really?
Because of the way that kind of like Wolverine. Not that Wolverine started as a villain, like the White Queen did, but they've rounded out her character, and I realize there's nothing you can say that has to do with shapes with the White Queen that isn't a innuendo.
I mean,
but
they set her up.
They've rounded out her character while keeping all of the sharp edges, basically, in a way where Wolverine has kind of mellowed out over the years. They've mellowed out the White Queen too, but in a way that just makes her fun.
I would never.
And I like her modern. I like her modern depiction. Like, really, I mean, since the Joss Whedon, era. And again, I haven't read a lot of the in between from then to now, but like I really like the way they've got her now in the Hickman run. So.
Is that also your answer for this question?
I mean, seems pretty obvious.
I'm curious to know Tina's answer here.
Omar's is Wolverine, also.
I'd take either. Let me tell you what I take.
So there's only been one body pillow that I have seriously looked at, and I was disappointed that it was out of stock, which was Garrus from Mass Effect.
The dude with the goatee?
No, he doesn't. No, he has mandibles. He's the alien.
You're so weird. Like, you're such a Star Trek weirdo. Sorry. And that's coming from this guy. You okay, Tina? I killed her. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Andrew.
And then there were three. If I pick Mystique, does that mean that my body pillow can encompass any person I want it to be?
Oh, well done.
Even Captain Picard.
Yes.
Make it so.
Andrew would only pick dudes? Why did you even bother with Mystique?
Oh, man, we missed an option. We could have just all drank Coronas.
Too soon, Tina. Too soon. I would go with... honestly, I need something comfortable. Right? I need something... So I'm thinking about comfort only, not about body. So I'd have to go with Power Girl. Right? Because...
I could have seen that coming.
Huge tracts of land.
Right. I need that extra comfort up top, right? And a little cushion at the bottom, the way that I sleep. So, Power Girl. As long as it's made in Japan.
If you wanted to do comfort, you could have said Squirrel Girl because of the tail.
Shut up.
Fluffy.
Nobody's going to choose Squirrel Girl for a body pillow.
I might.
All right.
Cute.
So this is the second time that this has come up. Do I think that it's going to be canceled? Why is that? Is somebody? Is there something going on that I don't know about? Because that is my favorite incarnation of the Ninja Turtles, and I hope it doesn't end. It's wonderful. As a matter of fact, volume. Hold on. The new volume was just put in the Penguin Random House website, so it's coming out along with Transformers IDW Phase 12 volume, or Phase 2 volume 12. So that's coming out. It's got Soundwave on the cover.
Ooh. I'm gonna pre-order that right now.
It's not out for pre-order yet, Dan. It's only on the Random House website, so be out in a couple of weeks or a month. So I don't know. I don't think they're in any. I mean, IDW is in a, they were kind of in a bind, but I think it's because they own so much property, so much IP, that might be some of the issues going on.
Well, they're venture capital owned now, aren't they?
I think so, yeah. And they were having issues earlier. But I will be honest with you. They have been in money trouble for well over a year.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, frankly, any entertainment thing that is venture capital owned is always.
They've been taking a loss. My brother deals in their 401k, and I can't really talk about what exactly is happening. But I knew about this over a year ago, and I was like, "Please don't tell me they're going to cancel Transformers." And my brother was like, "Dude, like, why would you even say that?" Because it's so good, man. I mean, I think a lot of it is just they got so much everywhere, buying up all this IP. I mean, we got Usagi Yojimbo, we got ROM, we got Transformers, we got G.I. Joe, and not only that, but also movies, right? I hope Lock and Key does wonderful for them on Netflix.
Yeah.
Not really my cup of tea, the show. Saw the first episode, and I like the comic book, and just not for me. Amanda really liked it, though. She thought it was fun. They got Sonic. Usagi Yojimbo just came over there with the color. The actual color version is coming out, so.
Have you guys seen the Sonic movie? Is it good?
No.
I really want to see it. I've heard nothing but good reviews of it. So.
And it's got Cyclops in it, so.
It does have Cyclops. That guy has never outgrown that role.
My eyes twitching over here.
Oh, look there. Green Laser actually knew what I was going to pick for my body pillow. Only because comfort. It's what I look at for body pillows. Not that I own any. Would you ever consider doing a video with Young Ripa? Yeah, man. I don't mind. I know sometimes he gets all political and stuff, and I never do, but I don't mind doing a video with him. Yes, I got stories about this. I know all of us do, I think. Did you guys enjoy the 70s Hulk show? Still better than movies. Let me tell you my story behind this, and then we can go round table. My story is that intro scared the shit out of me so much. I used to hide behind the bed because the idea of this man, I was like 2 or 3 years old when this came. My mom told me this, and I don't know if it became like Wolverine false memory implants or not, but I specifically remember like him just throwing the dude at the gas station, and I was like, no, why would that guy turn green? I thought he was evil. And then I ended up watching the show because my parents watched it.
So I love that show, and it's one of those that I have very vague memories of because I've never gone back and rewatched it, but I know I loved it as a kid. But I wouldn't drink milk as a kid. Like, I just would refuse to drink it unless my mom put green food coloring in the milk, and then it was Hulk milk, and then I would drink it, and then I would have Hulk poops.
Like she tested that food dye somewhere else, like on the dogs.
Yeah,
first, right?
It explains so much, but yeah, that I have very, very fond but very vague memories of that show.
Yeah, it's the same. Like, I kind of grew up watching it as a young kid, so I don't have like concurrent memories now about it, but I remember I enjoyed it. I really liked Swamp Thing back in the day too, but I think I got him confused as a kid.
The movie Swamp Thing?
Mm-hmm. You remember? There used to be a series, didn't there?
Like in the 90s, I think there was a series. I'm not sure.
Thinking earlier. I think it was in the late 80s.
Of Swamp Thing? Really? I don't know, Tina. I think that might be the mimosa talking or screwdriver. Andrew, what about you? Did you grow up watching them?
I did. In fact, I have distinct memories similar to yours where I would hide behind I can remember the chair in the living room that I would hide behind when that show was coming on, even though I was the one that wanted to watch it. And somehow my parents gave into that. I don't know why. And it scared me so much that, in fact, I remember going to some small comic book convention with you and seeing Lou Ferrigno, and again being like, I need to hide behind a chair. I don't know how comfortable I am with this.
That was Mid Ohio Con.
That was Mid Ohio Con, yes.
Yeah, he was there with the Playboy models.
And Swamp Thing, the TV show that I'm thinking about, was 1990 to 93. It was
That's what I thought. It was the 90s stuff.
Yeah.
So A. Lopez got you. He said a U.S. network. You were too old. You weren't a kid then, Tina. You were in your like teens by then.
No, I was born in 82.
All right. So let's say, math.
So I was 10.
You come back to haunt me again.
I was 10.
Okay.
11, 12. Yeah, so.
Okay, sure.
I was not yet a teen, technically.
Okay. I'll give you that. Omar, do you think Rucka's Wonder Woman will get deluxe? Dude, I hope Wonder Woman by Rucka gets an omnibus, not a deluxe. It deserves it. It is a wonderful read. The pre-crisis stuff. The pre-infinite crisis stuff. The Rebirth stuff's pretty solid too. I've only seen one episode of this. Have you all ever seen any of the Comic Book Man? Kevin Smith?
I think I watched the very first episode and not really. Like, I watched it and I was like, okay, that's a thing. And it was just not really for me.
Oh, we lost Omar's mic.
Omar,
can't hear you.
I heard my kids coming down here, so I didn't. You just want to say hi? All right, now go to bed. You better lose that tooth for tomorrow.
Yeah, the Kevin Smith. I only watched his show where they were in his comic book store. So.
What did she say?
Oh yeah, I have watched this comic book. Yeah, that's the comic book store. Yeah, with the guy that just sort of hangs around. It was okay.
Friday the 13th was Esther Swamp Thing. That was the TV show Friday the 13th, right? The series where the guy owned the bookstore and the kids would go, or the youngsters would go and explore things. Omar, why do you and others' opinions on characters like Miss Marvel selling better in trade than floppies? That's the whole trade waiting thing, right? I think some story arcs lend better to trades. There's been a lot of comic books like single issue safe because of the trade paperback sales.
Do you think that's in part because of like mass market stores versus comic stores? Like, I don't know how much brick and mortar retail these days actually really means to distribution of books like that, but
honestly, it has to mean something though, because Marvel and DC love comic book shops. Both of them, like, there's comic book store exclusives. There are only reprints of certain trade paperbacks that go towards like comic book stores. You can't find them on Amazon. You trying to one up me with your dog and my kid, Andrew? Is that what you're doing here?
I mean, she's got a loose tooth. I was gonna pull it out.
What? Golly, this is such a tough question to answer.
Ooh.
I mean, he didn't Bob Kane, Steve Ditko, or Jack Kirby, right? Like what Bob Kane did to Bill Finger, Stan Lee did not do to Jack Kirby or Steve Ditko. So, does he get too much credit? I don't think he's ever hidden the fact that back then he would let them draw the art and the story, and then he would just fill in the script. I mean, that's never been a secret. And I think Marvel themselves knew who to make marketable, and it was Stan Lee. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people don't know. I don't think a lot of I don't think an everyday Joe actually knows those stories behind the scenes, but I think most people that read comics understand the way that it worked back then.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that Stan Lee could have written all those comic books, guys. That doesn't happen.
I mean, That's the way Disney worked too. So come on.
Oh man, so many good questions in the chat. Thank you everybody for joining us. Please don't forget to smash that like button while you're here. What comic would you choose to read if you could only read that book for the damn? Dan did not like that question. Okay, he did. He did like that question.
He's just
Okay.
trying to get me in earlier order.
Oh, now you're trying to one up Andrew. Okay.
He wanted to go last.
He's like, I got to think about this one so hard. I got to be quiet. So what comic book would you choose to read if you could only read that book for the rest of your life?
Okay, wait. Is this individual issue or is this run?
I'm going to get an omnibus because I ain't picking it. If I'm reading it for the rest of my life, it better be an omnibus.
Mine would be a manga.
Finnegan's Wake, the comic book.
What?
Nothing.
One Piece, because there's so many volumes.
One Piece doesn't count.
No, Tina. One book.
One piece of One Piece.
Book?
Okay, Ray Earth. Volume 3.
Volume 3 where it ends. Man, I'm going to go with Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 3.
Which contains
God Loves Man Kills.
Thank you.
From the Ashes. And all these Wolverine miniseries. I guess if I'm stuck in this weird island or hell, wherever I am, that I have to read one book over and over, that's the one.
But what if it wasn't an
if you're stuck in a hell, it's execution.
One issue.
No, if I'm stuck in hell, then I'm reading something like, I don't know, Super Pro.
Ultimate Warrior.
Or Ultimate Warrior Comics or
no,
anyway.
Ultimate Warrior Comics. Ultimate Warrior, the comic.
Oh, my bad, Mimosa or Screwdriver Tina. All right. What do you got, Dan?
I feel like you could probably spend forever looking at the details in House of X Powers of 10.
I almost said Watchmen because I was like, I could read Watchmen a lot.
Omar, you'd finally get around to reading the text parts of Watchmen.
I read all that twice.
No, you would pick Sunstone because of the sexy bits, but then all the story,
go.
like
if I had a House of X and Powers of 10, I'd actually go through and translate all the Krakoan stuff.
Yeah, because you're in this magical island where there's no internet. Andrew, what would you choose?
I am just going to roll the dice and pick the biggest omnibus you have in your basement.
Which would be what?
I don't know.
Blackest Night or Final... Oh, God, yeah. Read Final Crisis. Maybe you'll understand it after your third read-through or fourth read-through.
All right, good. I chose wisely.
No, you didn't.
Why no more Miracle Man Omnibus? Because I don't think they finished it, releasing it in standard size hardcover. That's one of my questions that I actually have for David. I'd love to know because I'm a big fan of that run. And by the way, I think what is he known as? He's not known as Alan Moore because you can't legally use his name on that on Miracle Man. It has to be like the creator or something is what Marvel used when they reprinted it.
I think you're right. The creator was...
it's something like... It's Alan Moore.
So silly.
Yeah, I honestly, the older I get, the more I get Alan Moore. Like, and it's so weird. I get him.
Stop touching my stuff.
Get off my lawn. New Warriors. Did I ever talk about New Warriors? Which of the current X books are you still on?
That's a good question.
I'm loving X-Force. X-Force is solid. Marauders is fun. New Mutants is fun. And X-Men's good. I haven't read Wolverine yet. I need to read the new one.
X-Men and Marauders for me, and then I'm picking up the rest of the stories. I'll probably pick them up in trade.
Yeah,
but I'm
so good.
I'm buying floppies for X-Men and Marauders.
Omar choose New Warriors Volume 2. It's not out yet. One day. This is a good answer. Far Side for the rest of my life.
Ooh.
It's good. So Andrew chose Final Crisis for some god unknown reason. This is the biggest.
He's concerned about the toilet paper issue.
Yes.
He wants to understand Grant Morrison's take on Batman and why he died. All right. So here's a good question that he's been asking for a while. Have any of you all read stories from Elliot as Maggot, particularly his Superman stories. He doesn't get enough love for his run or credit for the coming up LexCorp concept. No, I haven't, man.
I have not either.
I have not. Man, so the problem with New Mutants is that it's written by two people, and there's two different stories going on at the same time. The trade paperbacks are gonna be so weird, like when they're like I have volume 1 of the trade paperback, and it collects issues 1 and 2 and 5 and 7, right? And
yeah,
because it's the other ones are not written by Hickman, but they're talking about things that happen in issue 3 and 4, and so if you're reading in trade paperback, you're like, wait, what? Where did this happen?
And you know, frankly, I find it a little strange that you're going to create a new book for Asian Psylocke, whose actual name I can never remember.
Quanon.
Yeah,
Quanon.
You're going to create a new book for her, and some other folks who are also in other books, but you're going to stuff the Claremont New Mutants in with the Grant Morrison school characters, and just kind of lump them all under the New Mutants banner and tell stories with both. That's I don't understand why they're doing it that way, I guess.
And I don't mind that formula.
I mean, I don't mind those characters. If you were to integrate them into stories together, I'd be fine with that. I just don't understand why, if you're going to just do it, why not just do, here's a story with, Roberto and Cannonball, whose name is Sam, and then here's a story with Beak.
So did you ever read Ed Brubaker and Greg Rucka's Gotham Central? It's a wonderful series if you never read it.
I maybe, but I can't think of exactly what it.
So pretty much what they did was they wrote about the police department in Gotham, right?
Yeah.
Where Ed Brubaker took the daytime and then Greg Rucka took the night shift. And it was awesome because it works so well together. Like characters sometimes would interact like some of the detectives. I wish they had kind of done that route with New Mutants because it's great. It's so good. And I just wish that things would work better. I don't know. Maybe when it's released in Omnibus format or when it's released in a bigger format, it will make a lot more sense. Can you guys be any more awesome? Seriously, though. Thanks for all the great content.
Yes.
And, we can strive. We could take a time machine back to our 20s and be a lot more awesomer. How do I feel about Jeff Lemire?
You have such broken memories of our 20s.
Shut up. How do I feel about Jeff Lemire's art? Man, I am not a fan of Jeff Lemire's artwork, but I love his writing so much so that I wasn't a fan of his art in Sweet Tooth, but I finished it because I loved the writing so much. I don't know. I never dig it, and I get it. It's all subjective, and there's a lot of people that really like it, and then there's people that hate it, but I never grew to like it. I'm running down to the comic book store, and I'm only allowed to pick one book before the whole world goes into quarantine. What do I get? Andrew would say Final Crisis. He's a huge fan.
Don't pick Final Crisis, or you'll get chatted by all your friends.
I mean, it depends on when you're going. Are you going after Transformers and My Little Pony comes out, or before Transformers and My Little Pony comes out?
That one issue is going to get you by. One issue, Dan. I'm going to go, if they have Omnis, I'm going to say Uncanny X-Men Volume 3 again. If it's a single issue, oh, man. The final issue.
If you count?
Uncle
Do you
Scrooge.
have to pick out something that's come out in the last 2 weeks?
Uncle Scrooge 296. I'll crack that CGC thing open just to read it again. Or Starman 72, one of those two. What about you, Tina? World's Ending or Quarantine? You got a chance to go to the comic book store. What's the book you're going to get and run
Tina,
out
you're
with?
muted.
This is like work.
There
I swear.
we go. I'm 80. How does this work? One book. God, dang. Anything One Piece related. Sorry.
No need to apologize. Get your One Piece swimsuit issues. Whatever is out. All right,
Marvel
Andrew.
Swimsuit Edition, yes.
All right, Andrew. You get a chance to run to the comic book store.
Man, I have no idea. I mean, you know me, I haven't read anything lately. I have no idea.
What was the last thing you picked up?
Oh God, the last thing I picked up myself. I mean, I've had stuff given to me lately that I've read. I read some great Star Trek stuff that Ray gave me not too long ago, actually. But I have no idea if I could find follow-ups for that kind of thing.
All right, Andrew.
I don't know if it's something new.
I got you, man. I'm gonna suggest New Warriors #1, the new series with what were the names again? Tina, B Negative.
B Negative, Screen Time, Snowflake, Safe
Space.
I'm sorry.
That's Tina.
Trailblazer.
That's you, Andrew. That's you. It's 1:30 here. I bid you good night, Minties. Thank you for the super chat and good night. Thank you for staying up with us, man. Much love to you. X of Swords 408 OHC. Absolutely. Yeah, man. 408 pages. That was the one book I couldn't talk about in November, but now I remember I said y'all are going to find out about it eventually, so it's out now. It's coming. Greenlit Social Justice Warriors. Tina's going to love it. She's going to review it with me.
Looks terrible.
You guys,
I like the character design for B Negative, and I do like Screen Time.
It's like Morbius. All right.
Well, I liked Morbius's design. I didn't like him as a character, but I like the design.
Jordan has a question for Dan. How would we make a live-action Transformers movie? I don't know, but let's do it. Dan, you did the amazing effects that one time, turning yourself into Ultra Magnus, right?
How would we do it? Obviously, we would, raid, rob a bank,
okay,
and then hire some cosplayers to make costumes
out of cardboard.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, and then we'd have Matt write it.
Sweet. Oh God.
I would go where no man has gone before with Transformers movie and make it an adult movie.
like a Pornhub adult Transformers movie, or just like an adult, like an R-rated Transformers movie.
You know damn well what I mean, Dan.
Yeah, I know you do. I was hoping you would. I was hoping you'd surprise me.
Surprise! It's Triple X, Dan. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for the super chat. And the question is, what's your favorite board game for the quarantine? Tina, didn't we play Pandemic like a couple of weeks before all this started?
Right.
Oh man.
With your kids?
With my kids. I was like, this is such a great game. This will never happen. Like they were wondering what quarantine was. They were wondering what a pandemic was with an epidemic.
We had to explain this to them.
It was so cute, and now it's like, oh my gosh, I need to turn it on CNN and they can learn all this stuff.
I've only played that game a few times and I've still never won, and I don't like the way that plays out.
We won.
I mean, we did. We did win. We caught it pretty quick, and that's what you've got to do, government. Catch it quick. Jesus. But no, it depends on if you're playing with a small group or a large group. So a good game that I keep coming back to that has a lot of replayability is Betrayal at House on the Hill, or Haunted. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That's a great game. I love that game.
Yeah, Betrayal is amazing game.
We played that together. That was fun. Yeah, my brothers and I played it.
You can buy expansions, and it kind of changes.
You don't know who you're gonna be. You don't know if you're gonna be the villain or the hero. That's the best part about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, Andrew?
Well, the one we're playing we're going through the Harry Potter, what's it called? Hogwarts Battle co-op game right now. My wife and I.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we're in quarantine. So yeah, that's that one, because there's a lot of levels in that. It takes forever, and we have the expansion pack, which is even more.
Mansions of Madness is another good one. I would actually probably recommend that. Taking back Betrayal, I'd recommend that over Betrayal, just because it has an online aspect. And depending on what characters you play, because there's vast array of characters, it changes it. It's sort of like a Cthulhu, Lovecraftian game.
Dan.
I probably boring, but I would go Catan.
Really?
Or Magic the Gathering.
Dan,
there's a lot.
That's not a board game, Dan. I don't want to be that guy, but that's a card game.
You love being that guy.
Let's pull out our
I do not like being the actually guy, and you know that. No,
that's just why you do it all the time.
You know damn well that's not a board game, Dan.
Omar, highlight that question about Transformers.
No, we got to answer the super chat, Dan.
No,
I can see Dan
keep
pulling
coming back
out
to Catan
Catan.
in different ways. We've been talking about it all week this week, and frankly, we've been playing are the kids done with their schoolwork game, which is less fun. But hopefully this weekend we'll get into some.
I'm gonna go with Here Kitty Kitty. It's probably one of my favorite games to play with my kids.
Change it up. All the kitties.
Got to snatch up all the kitties from the neighborhood and become Tina, the crazy cat lady. No. In all seriousness, either that or what's the Dead of Winter? Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter, really?
Yeah, that's the one where it's a zombie apocalypse.
I mean,
and you're
really
in a mall.
feel like you're in quarantine there.
You're in quarantine. You're in a mall. That's a good one, man. Chris? Yes, we all cringed. Yes, we did. Even Tina cringed.
Yeah, even I cringed.
She's gonna cosplay a safe space and.
No, I'm not.
What's the other one?
Not. Maybe be negative.
Be negative. What's happening to my new warriors?
With my Doc Martens on, that would be the character I would go. I'd be like, that is.
So,
I desire that.
So in all seriousness about the new warriors, this new series, I'm hoping that because of, like I said, the writer's tone, because he's a comedic writer.
That makes sense that you said he's a comedic writer, because I didn't recognize him.
Some of this might be just a joke. I don't know. Not 100% sure. Maybe some of it will be a joke. Maybe some of it will actually be real. I don't know. I guess we'll see. And Optimus Prime body pillow, not for Omar, but for Dan. And and you can transform it with the trailer. So you can put yourself in the trailer like a sleeping bag. See, look how excited he got.
You could be the headmaster. Did I get that right?
That was
more or
cute,
less.
Nina.
Yeah,
that was
good enough. Good enough.
That was cute. Dan, have you read Immortal Hulk?
No.
You would love it because it takes aspects of the TV show, mixes horror elements in. TV show as in there's a news reporter following Bruce Banner around, seeing what's causing all these issues. Oh, dude, it's so good. It's one of the best books Marvel's putting out.
Is so current?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Omar, do you think Scott... Okay, this is a question that keeps coming up. Do I think he's an overrated writer? In my personal opinion, I don't know. I don't know what I mean. Overrated. Like, it depends on your taste, right? Like, I know a lot of people love Bendis, but I don't particularly like him. I don't know if I'd call him overrated. Scott Snyder's hit and miss with me. I think for the most part, like, his Batman run was really cool. You know, I don't think it was as amazing or breaking all these kind of new things that people make it out to be. But I thought it was a pretty fun run. Snakes and reptiles. Where's Be Positive? Be Positive. New Warriors Omnibus Volume 2 body pillow. Does Omar own a Flower Girl mouse pad? No, I don't, but I should.
I own a Zorro mouse pad.
It's constantly sticking.
Yeah, he has pecs.
Oh, his pecs. Okay, I was like his ass cheeks. What? Let's
Andrew.
see.
Zorro.
Oh, sorry.
From One Piece, guys.
One Piece.
No,
Not Zorro the Gay Blade. Come on.
Hey, hang on now. The Black Fox should not be,
My theory is that the first issue of the New Warriors, they'll kill off the entire team and we'll get better, more classic New Warriors. I made that joke when I looked at the trade paperback when we were looking at the previews of that. Yeah, them dead. Scott Snyder over Scott King. I completely agree with that, though. I remember reading the first volume of Scott King, and I'm like, this was okay. I look online, and everybody's like, this is the greatest Batman run ever. And I'm like, oh, shit, I guess I'm an idiot. I don't get it. And then, like, the next run, I really dug. And then 2 or 3, like, up and downs. And then all of a sudden, like, the whole issue 50 came out and people were like, this guy sucks. And I was like, that's what I was saying a year and a half ago. Dan, is it really that time that you're bored and you got to transform your...
I'm not bored. Calm down.
Hold him up. Who you got?
Oh, sorry. Right now I was just looking at general orders from the court related to COVID-19. One of the new Power Dashers. I was just going to sit here and fiddle with it.
I'm just going to highlight you and make it really awkward. You to...
Everything with me is really awkward, Omar. Don't you know that?
I wouldn't do that.
I mean, you wouldn't be an Omar friend.
I wouldn't do that, except for the fact that I just did it.
Cates versus Snyder.
Wait, hang on. No, you can't move past that. Am I an Omar friend?
Shut up. People don't know what that means.
I mean, aren't we all Omar's friends?
Yeah, y'all happen to be my friends. But you're not Omar friends. Those I collect.
You can't trade them around, Omar. They're not.
Oh, that's cards. A good body pillow, Big Barda. Andrew, did you choose your body pillow? You said Mystique, right? Not Angela Lansbury. Because Omar, how does Marvel scrap the single issues if they have to push it back? Ooh. It's a good question. I think that's something all the companies are worried about right now, or thinking about doing. Like, what gets pushed back, right? I don't know, man. We've never dealt with anything like this. So, and the whole reason I wanted to do this episode was not to talk about what's going on because, let somebody else tell the bad things going on, but it's gonna have ramifications on everything, your hobbies, your everyday life. It's we've never dealt with anything like this.
Yeah.
All right.
That's absolutely true.
Tina.
The closest he ever got was Puddin', and so no, he is never gonna get laid.
Okay. Good answer.
You're not even caught up. Do you even know who Puddin' is?
Nope. In Annihilation, how they can token in space. Ah. Andrew, I'm gonna highlight Andrew. Andrew's our space guy. Actually went to space camp, so he can tell you all these kind
of. Yeah, I can tell you. Apparently, you get called out if you try to talk in space because I took my helmet off once when we were doing a spacewalk simulated.
Oh, no shit! You actually went to space camp? I was just kidding.
I did actually go to space camp.
You took your helmet off.
It was hot. I couldn't see anything. With the mask on, I couldn't see anything. How was I supposed to do my job?
You're in a vacuum, dude. You're dead.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thanks. But also true story. Yeah.
You went to space camps, dude. That's awesome.
The one in Alabama?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was 13.
No, I went to the one in Frankfurt.
What are body? Oh, this is an amazing question. What are body pillows? Is it an American thing?
No, it's a Japanese
Omar, quick,
thing.
show yours.
Quickly I do have a Sanji body pillow. Well, it's my wife's.
Actually, I believe that. So yes, this is something that started in Japan, but Americans love it.
Quickly adapt it.
Well, I don't know if they adapted. They quickly bought and sold it.
We discovered this.
We discovered body pillows, right? They're an anime thing. Anime and manga and yeah.
Fan art.
I do. I follow the crowdfunded books, and right now that's what some of them are trying to do. Omar, do you think mixed reception to Mark Waid's run on Champions hurt the sales of Jim Sub's run on I like both equally, honestly. I really liked Mark Waid's Champions. I thought it was good. That was a good run. Did you ever read his ongoing series with Derek Robertson on artwork? That was good too. I really liked that.
That was like some of the last stuff I actually picked up at a comic book store.
Tina, do you have a waifu? I have a waifu.
waifu.
We all have waifus. Tina, who's your waifu?
Utena.
And please explain what a waifu is for the non-body pillow buying.
You can only have one waifu or else. Never mind.
Explain what it is.
So waifu is like somebody you have feelings for, but like they're not necessarily. Yeah,
Oh, this
anime
has to do
character.
with feelings? Oh,
I
man.
mean, don't necessarily. I guess a lot of people do FAP too, but yeah.
I remember
Okay.
this being a disaster the last time we tried to explain this to Omar.
Yeah, this
Right.
was not
Right.
good. I remember the outtakes of that episode.
We did a whole episode of this.
Yeah, but I
Your
wasn't paying
waifu.
attention. All right. So
I thought it was Smurfette, Omar.
no.
That-
I
Can we go back? Talking
speci-
about blue. Come
I
in.
Andrew,
don't
would you please doodly doop?
yeah, what happened?
Edit, drop that in, please.
So mine would be Bell Dandy. Dan's is Android 16? 18?
Yeah.
Android 16.
16 is the big dude, isn't it?
Big dude, big redhead dude. Yeah, that's right.
De-aged.
I can't stop laughing at how Dan makes me miss my childhood. That's what he brings to the table. It's what he does.
I
It's
try.
what he does. It's what he does.
I have a very specific set of skills.
Being collectors, what are some of your best deals you've ever scored? I've got a few. I've gotten animation cells, like the Ninja Turtles animation cells. I've sold. I think I've showed them off on the show before. I found them for $2 each, man. One of them had a Sagio Jimpo. Love that. My first. Oh, I've told the many tales of the Amazon glitch of 2010, where I bought many an Omni for $8 on Amazon and $10 on Barnes and Noble. So yeah, 2010. If you look up Amazon glitch of 2010, yeah. Now I had to talk to 4 or 5 supervisors to actually get it to come to my house, but I got a lot of Omnis there.
Let me speak to your manager.
Sure. No, yeah, I got to the point where I'm like, surely there's someone above you, and they're like, no, I am the last. I'm the final boss. Bullshit.
Omar's calling Jeff Bezos at home.
There's someone above you. All right, Dan, what's one of the best deals you've ever gotten?
It's hard to say because I mean, over the years there have been a number of just like Generation 1 figures that I've picked up from like different stores who just either just had it priced really low, but the one that comes to mind frankly is you were there when I got that Soundwave from A+. Mm-hmm. It was probably 15 years ago, but like he had like $30 on it and it was gorgeous. It was in just pristine shape. And back then that may not have been that huge a deal, but it's always just stuck in my mind that it was like, oh, you can walk into a store and find a vintage toy at a reasonable price and just, buy it.
Yeah.
So that one just stuck out to me.
Tina, what about you? What's like a good find? I think we did an episode on this. What was a good find that you got really cheap?
Gosh, I can't even remember. Because my collection, I very much limit myself. Weirdly enough, I'm not even thinking about collection. Like the best deal that I ever got, I didn't realize somebody was flirting with me when I went to pick up a manual. Yeah. So I went to pick up Wild Arms and a Lunar walkthrough manual, and the guy sold it to me for each one a penny. And I did not realize that this was his way of flirting. I was just oblivious, and I was just like, yes.
Are you oblivious because it was a guy flirting with you?
I'm just oblivious to like flirting.
What was
Like,
it? What? Obviously, I guess because of the price, he was flirting with you.
I guess because they weren't actually a penny. Like, literally, I got sold walkthroughs for a penny, and that's not the first time it's happened to me. I was just like, gee, thanks, guys. And then my friends were like, dude, he was flirting with you. Sorry, but no, maybe, like, I think my rare earth cell that I got in Japan, I got it for $5, and it's Fu. And then I got a Zelgoddess one from Slayers. So, yeah, cells are nice when you can get the main characters.
Okay, that should be a T-shirt. Andrew, what about you?
I can't really. I mean, you know me. I'm not that much of a collector, and I can't think
Andrew
I can't
doesn't
think of
really
anything
collect.
in particular. Like, yeah, I can't think of anything in particular. The closest thing I can think of that's even remotely close would be my drum kit that I bought 20 years ago, which was a huge drum kit at a ridiculously cheap price, and I've been using it ever since. That's the closest I got.
Okay.
That's the drum kit you bought from my mom.
No, she wouldn't sell me that drum kit. I wanted that drum kit.
All right, we're gonna start wrapping up here. So let's see. Whoa, look at that! Best deal I ever got was probably getting Fantastic 448 for $70. It came back a CGC 3.5. Great deal. And Wild Arms was rare.
Was it rare? Was it rare?
Yeah, Wild Arms was rare. Still rare.
Oh, I've got it still. Mm.
Omar, with this quarantine, do you think you'll get through that drunken anime purchase? Probably not. My kids are here. Like, when I think of quarantine, I'm like, I think of all this freedom. I have all this time to read. And I'm like, oh, yeah, my kids. I have to make sure they survive, too.
You've got children.
Best deal was $70
survival.
for Colossal Conan when it was going for $1,000. That's a hell of a deal.
Wow.
You pre-ordered the guts. Oh, the swords, the Berserk sword bookends. Oh, I almost did.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Okay, this is a great question. We'll take a couple more questions, then call it a night. What is the perfect book? Who would you pick as the writer, artist, colorist, so on? I can go first because I already have this.
Go ahead.
All right, so it's Chris Claremont.
What?
I know.
Couldn't see that coming.
I know. Mark Silvestri. On inks, I want to see Scott Williams ink Mark Silvestri's artwork.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Joe Rose's, maybe Paul Mounts on colors. And I want them to do a Wolverine book, a one-shot. That would be my perfect book. What about you, Dan?
Harder for me to answer because I frankly couldn't tell you probably in most cases who the inker or colorist are on the books I like. So yeah, I'm a bad person. But frankly, I mean, the Transformers books with James Roberts writing and Nick Roche drawing were some of my favorite art and word combinations ever that stick out in my head. Okay. So that's probably the direction I would go.
Tina, what about you?
So I would say writer Rebecca Sugar, Steven Universe. She actually does a very well storyline. The artist Fiona Staples from Saga.
Good
and
choice.
The colorist, I would pick somebody from Lumberjanes, whoever does the colors. I don't know who, but I usually tend to like their color schemes. I'm sorry? Noelle Stevenson. There we go.
Whoa, look at your wife schooling you.
I know. I'm like, what is their name? What is their name?
Andrew.
So again, you kind of got most of mine. I was going to go, that stuff that I pretty much started with, Jim Lee, Chris Claremont, Scott Williams was doing the
He's the
inking then,
inker.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm like Dan. I don't really pay attention to the colorists. That's bad, but I don't know. I couldn't name one. But yeah, you throw that mix together, I'll be happy. You give me whatever you got.
Omar, I didn't know you like Chris Claremont. Lying. Dan, do you remember when we had a podcast over a decade ago and we would get comments with "Please stop playing with your Transformers"?
I do remember that.
Oh, what? Click, clack, click, click.
Yeah, because Dan was in the background because he was like. No, by all means, please continue.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember that. I don't see what that has to do with anything.
I don't know if you remember or not. I was just throwing that out there.
No.
Not for any particular reason.
Yeah, apropos of nothing.
Honestly, I'd like to see Jonathan Hickman work with somebody like Jim Lee or Donnie Cates work with somebody like Todd McFarlane. Like, I like to mission mash. I think it would be really fun. Dude, I just said that, Brian. Yes, Donnie Cates, right? Writing a Spider-Man story with Todd McFarlane on art. Oh, but you said Superman. Okay, but you know what I mean. Michael Turner. Yeah, Turner was awesome, man. All right, so let's call it a night then. Unless there's any more questions, I think we went through a lot of these. This was a lot of fun. Thank you everybody for joining us for this impromptu. Okay, last question. Oh shit, I don't know the answer. I'd ask Gabe. I would ask Gabe. I'd ask Gabe that question. Okay. Dan should just do videos of him playing with Transformers. You know, that's how a lot of YouTubers got really famous, Dan. Like, just playing with Transformers.
I've been saying for years, just give me a Transformer. I'll transform it. It will make an excellent episode. Because I'll break it.
That's why we're not doing that. But I'm glad that we've had.
Give me the most expensive one, Dan.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Do the show every night. You know what? I was thinking about doing more live shows. So yeah, if all these people could join me, that'd be awesome. And Tina's not the only one that loves Gunsmith Cats. I'm a Rally Vincent kind of guy. And that car. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Tina, you want to add anything? Andrew, Dan?
Smash.
Smash, okay.
That notification.
Just smash
that bell.
You know, smash. In this time of quarantine, smash.
In this time of quarantine, just
smash and wash your hands.
Yeah,
that's our new T-shirt.
Everybody out there, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for watching. Smash. People.